Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all and y'all rocking with me. And for this video, I'm going to be showing y'all how to hide prison weapons inside of prison. Now, the most popular weapon inside of prison is going to be the lock and the sock. And the reason for that, it's the easiest thing to come across. You're going to get socks the second you get to prison, and you can buy a lock off of Canteen. Fire is a term for a weapon. When you fire somebody up, that's hitting somebody with a lock and a sock, or that's hitting somebody with a brick inside of a sock, a canteen bag. And you always want to do it like this. You never want to put the actual item in the sock, because when you hit them, the sock can actually rip open and the thing will go flying. So you strap it right to it, but how do you carry this around inside of prison? Your boxes, the slit in your boxes, where, you know, obviously you're supposed to put something through that, but no one really does. You just pull it all the way down. What you do is you tie this around that slit and you put a loose knot, so when you walk, it's hanging in between your legs, and you got it positioned pretty much right next to your meat, so when you get searched, they're not going that high up that they're gonna grab onto you like that. If somebody gets hit up, they will search you and they will fully put their hands on your dick and nuts and make sure you don't have anything on you. Female, male, it doesn't matter. When they grab on because they're searching because someone just got hit up, they're really gonna search. But when it's just a regular search, pat down, they go up to your thighs. So if you got it hanging right next door, you're pretty much gonna be good. You wanna tie a loose knot so you can slip your hands in there, untie it, and pull it out to handle business. Now, the razor game. When you hit the Central Florida Reception Center, you gotta shave every single day, but they don't give you the razors to keep. You shave with them on the line. Once you're done, you give them back to the COs, and that's it. But it's very easy to get your hands on a blade. When you go to Lake Butler, the North Florida Reception Center, you actually get to take this whole setup back to the cell with you. So you have your assigned razor. And what'll happen is people will steal their bunkies razor, pop it out to just have the blade. And where are you gonna hide this blade? Put it right inside of your mouth. You can switch cheeks, you can drink with it, you can eat with it. It's gonna take some practice, it's gonna take some getting used to. You got to remember not to fall asleep with it in your mouth, but once you got it in there and you get used to it, you get used to talking, you're pretty much good to go. And when you get searched, if you got to open your mouth, they can see the metal glistening. You'll get caught with it that way, but this is the easiest way to carry it around. Going back to your boxes, you have that slit in your boxes. That same slit, if you cut a little notch, you can fit the razor blade inside of there. You can take your Crocs or your slides, your shower slides, slice open the rubber, peel it open, put the razor in there, and then push it back together, and it'll just look like a crease in the rubber. You won't actually be able to tell it's a slit and there's a razor inside of it. And in some cases, a metal detector won't even detect that there's a razor inside of there. But if you want it because you know that you're gonna be going to war and you put a little handle on it, the best place to put it is inside of your boxes. If the handle is not that big, you just melt a little piece of plastic around it, or even a small pencil. You just break it down this much, you add on the razor, it's only this long, you're able to slide it in. When it's inside of your mouth and you got to pull it out, to me, it isn't really, you're not going to cut someone like that. You're not just going to take it out and cut somebody. There are people that do it, but I don't have a good enough grip. I feel like you're going to cut your fingers at the same time. I'm just not a fan of it. This is more or less just an easy way to carry it around, not get caught with it, pass it off to somebody else, and you're good to go. Now, when it comes to the big boy box cutters, you're not gonna put one of these in your fucking mouth unless you're crazy. And when you hit somebody with one of these, it's doing way more damage. You're ripping through their whole entire jaw. You're not really gonna get that effect with the simple razor like this. Now, I only saw the box cutters at Lancaster, and that's because the work squad was getting them for outside work, and they were throwing them over the gate. And when people were getting hit with box cutters, it was vicious. Inside of the JIT camps, the youth offender prisons, the two most common ways you're gonna get hit up is you're either gonna get cut or you're gonna get hit with a lock and a sock. And you know, I got hit with both. And a lot of people have been hit with both. A lot of the people that I brought onto my show, a lot of the people that have blown up from the state of Florida, that have done times in the youth offender prisons. There was even one that did time in an adult prison, and he was cut. Raises are easy access, but they do not give you the raises at the actual YO prisons or any psych institution. So Lancaster, they prescribe psych medication. They do not give out razor blades. You got to shave with the clippers. So every single razor or box cutter that hit that compound was there because somebody snuck it in. Now, pokers and knives are a little different. You generally want to have a piece that you can wrap around your wrist, so when action pops off, if you let it go, it's still hanging. You can scoop it back up and get back to work. But with these, you take an ID clip and you put the ID clip on the same piece that you hang your wrist around. And you take that ID clip and you're going to put it at the end of the string. That ID clip is going to go on your boxes, and the knife is going to hang low right next door to your you-know-what. And you're going to put it in the same position as you would that lock in a sock. And if you keep it in that region, when they're searching and patting you, they're not going to feel it. If you have to go through a metal detector, that's another story. You're pretty much fucked. You're going to have to pass it off to somebody else and then put it back in position. You can't just walk around with these on your waist as if you're carrying a concealed firearm. It doesn't work out like that. You don't want it to drop at the end of the day. In the JIT camps, they make us PT. So if you got to do push-ups and you got a loose knife on you or a loose poker, you might actually end up poking yourself or the thing just falls out of your pants. Now you're going to confinement. But if you're not actually carrying it on you, another thing you can do is just put it inside of a bunk. And there's usually going to be a bunk inside of the dorm that's empty, but it has a mat. Or you're going to have a jizzle, someone that's under extortion. And you're more or less just going to put all the weapons inside of his mat. He's the crash dummy. That's what he gets used for. This kid might have 3 razors, 2 can lids, 5 locks and socks, a big fucking brick off the basketball court, and 2 pokers all inside of his mat that he sleeps on every night. And it's probably not the best for his back, but hey, that's how he survives in prison, and that's how we survive in prison. Everybody has a use. Now, if you get caught with either one of these things, it doesn't matter if it's a big knife, doesn't matter if it's a razor, a lock and a sock, you're going to go to confinement for 60 days for possession of a weapon. If your handle is made out of a bed sheet, is made out of a t-shirt, you're going to get another 60 days for destruction of state property. And usually if you have a big ass knife, you can go CM for that knife, which is closed management, which is a whole nother level of confinement. But it isn't that difficult to hide weapons. What's harder is the anxiety that can come with it. And the anxiety that comes with it is very similar to the street. If you know you're not supposed to have something on you, you feel different about everyone around you when you have it. And you're wondering, is everyone looking at me like I got something? Do they know I have something? This and that. If you're in public, in society, it's more of a mind game. Because if you don't have it on you, you realize no one's paying attention. Then if you have it on you and you're able to control your mind, you realize still nobody knows you have it. But in prison, everyone knows what to look for. And everyone is suspicious. Anyone that constantly has their hands in their pants, walking funny. I mean, shit, there was a point in time where I had 2 knives on me while Bimbo was at the fucking poker table. I moved the wrong way and them shits clanked off of each other. And everybody at the poker table is looking up at me like, the fuck is he doing? Like, yo, I'm double strapped up, Bill. I'm gonna come out like this here. But that's just how it is. Everyone knows what to look for. And when you're inside a prison, 9 times out of 9, people are gonna know who has a knife. Because you're either gonna have to build it yourself or buy it off of someone else, and word travels quick. But none of this is new. Everybody knows this, from the inmates to the COs. None of these are secret hiding spots that have just been exposed. It's simple though. They can't grab your dick. They're not gonna grab your dick. And COs don't want to have a handful of dicks. So what do? You put the knife, you put the lock, you put it all by your dick. But in the youth offender prisons, you put a razor in your mouth, you gotta be careful. Because what the COs used to do, they were so treacherous, they would just slap the shit out of you, hoping it was in your mouth, so it cuts you up and then you spit it out. Or they would make you sit from the water fountain and drink, trying to get the razor to go down in your stomach, forcing you to admit that you have it, because you're not going to want to drink all that and then the razor goes down. And then when you tell them you have the razor, they're going to beat the shit out of you for 1, having it, and for 2, lying to their face. But hey, it's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all. Y'all rocking with me. Till next time.